Good afternoon. This is Jim Koontz, President and founder of Aero Incorporated. My very special guest today is Joe Smaby, the Vice President and co-founder of Team Financial. Joe's company represents a valuable asset to Aero and certainly a valuable asset to my clients as he provides the financing. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Joe. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. Yeah, we've started Team Financial about just over 20 years ago. We were born out of the Old Kent and Fifth Third merger. Old Kent was a Midwest regional bank, well-respected bank, and Fifth Third came and bought Old Kent. And at the time, we thought it was a terrible thing because we loved our careers at Old Kent, but it actually gave us the opportunity to start our own business. And what a blessing that was. My business partner, Tim, and I started in my basement, and while we looked for a building, we had a good time down in our basement, and our pool table was our boardroom, and we had a lot of fun. But as soon as my wife started using us as babysitters, we said, we got to get out of there. So
Well, that's fascinating. You know, that's some of those early stories of how you start in business. They're just the ones you warmly remember. I remember I bought one forklift. I bought a forklift. Now, I got a couple hundred of them now. And those humble, and if you're hardworking and you're diligent and you love what you're doing, you remember those days fondly, and you obviously do. You're smiling there, but you've grown into so much more than that. Now you're leasing. What type of leasing do you offer, and what will you finance?
Yeah, so we actually have done now over 20 years we've done 10,000 deals. We just found out, we did the research, and over 115 million in portfolio that we service. We've financed over $600 million worth of equipment. And Jim, we do like construction. Obviously, that's a very hot area right now, and how we met you guys. But we also like energy and medical and manufacturing and agriculture and transportation, technology. So we really lend money to businesses and business owners. We're not discriminating against any certain segment. I would say we're more interested in doing business with good people, and if they're in an industry that's maybe a little tougher, well, we do a little more due diligence. But we can do any depreciable asset that a customer needs for to run their business.
Well, I unhesitantly refer you immediately. You're my first call. I mean, I'm unapologetically single sourced here with Team. I mean, I'm so impressed with the way your team handles my clients. Connect the dots, exchange phone numbers, and just let you talk to them. And I'm amazed that within a 5-minute phone call, I can't tell you how impressed that is with your personal touch and your quick response. It's almost unheard of in today's world. So how do you train your staff, and what kind of questions do you ask of the clients? I try not to get involved with that because you're so good at it.
Well, when Tim and I started, we really had intentions of buying or starting up a bank, but thankfully that never happened. That we decided to stay independent, and being independent gives us certain amount of advantages over a bank. First and foremost, it's our decision, so we can use common sense in making decisions versus trying to please the regulators or the stockholders of the bank. So we decided early on too that we were going to service 100% of our paper, which means that customers are dealing with either an owner or a decision maker at our company every time they call. The other thing we decided is that we're not going to have people call and get a phone tree. We want them to talk to a live person. So even at lunchtime, there's someone answering the phone. we think that's important. It's a little thing, but people are, most people appreciate getting a live person and a decision maker. And with all the bank regulation out there and all the struggles that banks had with the recession and the housing crisis, it just got tougher and tougher to deal with banks. So it gave us an advantage when we're dealing with them. And that's one of the reasons people keep coming back to us, because we make it easy for them. As you know, time is money, and a lot of business owners don't have a lot of time. So um, they're willing to pay an extra 25, 50 basis points to deal with us over their bank because of that ability to save some time. And our people, as you know, Jim, our people they're committed, and we have 11 employees with a combined 140 years of experience at Teams. So we've been very blessed with great people and great vendor partners.
There's just no question about it. I've called your company dozens of times. I call your cell phone, of course, but I've called your company dozens of times, and someone picks up all the time with energy, polite. It is remarkable. You are absolutely a delightful vendor to deal with, and so I got to commend you on that. So, I don't know how this works when somebody calls Aerolift. And by the way, you said you got 140 years experience collectively. Aerolift has about 150 years collectively experience of fixing, maintaining SkyTracks. So that cumulative experience is great. Now, when somebody calls my company, the client calls in, and we go out in the backyard and we get a forklift ready, and out in the yard and get a forklift. It's a little more sophisticated than that, but there's a process and a routine and a procedure. Now, when a client calls you and is requesting $50,000 or $500,000, do you go out in a file cabinet somewhere and start pulling out dollar bills? I mean, where do you get your sources of money from?
Well, we have obviously we have bank partners, and we have investors, and we have our own capital. So, and we leverage that all those avenues to do our financing. So, and it really varies, Jim, depending on the size of the deal, how we determine whether we're going to do business with a customer or not. Obviously, the deals are smaller, under 150,000. We're simply looking at the business owner's personal credit often, and try to make it as simple as possible. As you know, a lot of times it's just a phone call and a 5-minute conversation, and we have the information we need to be able to do an evaluation on whether we can do business with them. So um, it's a pretty simple process that being independent allows us to have. So
It is incredible, because I've been the recipient of those phone calls after 5 minutes, and you call me, yeah, Jim, I'll do that deal. Do what you got to do, mate. I'll do that deal. And I find that incredible that you operate that quickly. We really, really enjoy sending clients your way. You do have everybody on your staff is polite and professional, and you do get results. And also I can tell you on the vendor side of things, when you say you'll fund the deal, I mean, the money is hitting my bank. It's either being wired or ACH, check, whatever it is. You pay us quickly, and that means something to a businessman. So you fund deals quickly, you approve deals quickly, then you fund them quickly, yet you do it with a Midwestern charm, and it's a very effective thing. What do you see as the long-term growth for your company? What are you looking at, other branches, other things? What other financial tools are you going to offer?
Well, going back to your comment about funding, it brings back one of my favorite lines that Tim, who was my business partner and really my mentor for my whole career, he told me early on, Joe, fast pay makes fast friends. So that goes for vendors and everything in life, right? So
It gets
we do
people's attention.
appreciate that you've made that comment, because that's one of our taglines, if you would. And we also make sure it's a win-win-win, Jim, for you as a vendor, for your client, and for us.
Yeah.
And if it's not a win for one of those three phases, then we'll say no. And um, and as you know, you're not always going to be the cheapest. We're not always going to be the cheapest,
Yeah.
but service is something people are willing to pay a little extra for. And by service, that means I don't know how many times I've had conversations with you after hours. You're always picking up or returning a message right away, and your customers appreciate that. Our customers appreciate that. You can always get a hold of someone. So as far as the future is concerned, about 9 years ago, Tim's son Matt joined our team, and highly educated, intelligent um, um, gentleman, and it was really a shot in the arm. Not that Tim and I were doing poorly by no stretch of the imagination, but it was something our company needed. Some fresh ideas, and Matt, with his energy and his intellect and his youthful, I guess, understanding what technology upgrades we needed and marketing upgrades we needed, he really brought us to another level. So I always said, if we could do $15 million in loans in a year, that would be something. Well, now we're doing 60, and
Hmm.
that probably wouldn't have happened without bringing in some new energy. And nothing against you and I, Jim, but you need to bring
Oh,
in some fresh blood.
yes, Joe, I agree. Bringing youth in is important, and especially obviously talented and intellectual youth is better yet. And I've got four in my company and management team that are just very bright guys, and with others in the sidelines, and they're mentoring their new group as well. So it's the 40-year-olds. That's just prime time. 38, 40-year-olds. So I couldn't agree more. Now, as you see the industry, is it growing? Are there more players, less players? What do you think? What is the health of your industry?
Well, obviously the economy's been really strong, um, and businesses are growing despite COVID concerns, um, business owners are relentless, and they'll persevere. And we were a little bit nervous when COVID hit, because what is this going to do to our customers? And if our customers struggle, how are we going to get paid back? But
Yeah.
we never skipped a beat, and helped our customers, and it just proves that entrepreneurs are relentless in terms of their pursuit of excellence and their determination to succeed. And most small businesses don't fail; the owners quit. And what we've been lucky enough is to uh, um, have customers that fortunately we've been able to determine which ones are not the quitters, the ones that are going to keep on grinding. So I see strong growth in the next several years. Now the economy may slow down a little bit with interest rates expected to rise, but we're excited about the future and the opportunities, not only for us but for a lot of industries.
Well, that's terrific. I've got to tell you, it's been a delight interviewing you and having a discussion with you. You were super prepared. We sent me a list of potential questions to ask with detailed answers. And with your permission, I'm going to post that. We'll put a blog out and we'll attach your answers to it, which are small business advice and wisdom in it. And in your humility is just incredible. You're giving credit to all others on your team, their mentors, and the new players on your team. It's just a delight, and you feel very warm dealing with you, Joe. And I can't help but thank you enough for being here today and being in an interview. It's been fun, and I look forward to a good future together with you. Thanks again, Joe.
Yeah, no, appreciate the opportunity. And we always got to remind ourselves that none of this is ours. It all belongs to God, and so He can take it away anytime He wants. And the more we're blessed, the more responsibilities we have to give back and to help others. And that's what I know you love to do, and help your clients grow. And that's what we love to do, is help small businesses grow. So
Good for
we'll
you.
keep that our
Thanks
focus.
again.
Yep.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks again. Bye now.